Fearless, Sabalenka belatedly comes good to win Melbourne opener. Aryna Sabalenka warned she was only going to get better as the top seed recovered from a slow start to launch her Australian Open with a straight sets win on Sunday. The world number 1 tamed French wildcard Tyansoa Rakitomanga Rajana 6-4, 6-1 as she bids to claim a third Melbourne crown in 4 years. The Belarusian faces Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova of Russia or Chinese qualifier Bai Zhuoxuan next. Sabalenka, who lost last year's final, said that the first match of a Grand Slam was always tricky, especially against an opponent she had never played before. Sabalenka has been trying to expand her game, including going to the net more often, and said the variation made her a better player. "I was definitely working on serve and volley. I'm super happy to be able to do it in the match," she said. "You know, on the practice court is one thing, but to be able to be kind of fearless and go there at the match is something else. I'm really proud I'm able to show this tennis." The 27-year-old, fresh from winning the season-opening Brisbane International, made a sloppy start in losing the first 3 points of the match when serving. In front of the watching Roger Federer, Sabalenka clawed back to deuce but then misfired again to fall a game down in front of a shocked Rod Laver Arena. Sabalenka, who is favorite to add a 5th Grand Slam title to her career haul, pulled back level, but if she expected the spirited world number 118 to melt away, it did not immediately happen. The reigning US Open champion offered an apology to her underdog opponent at 4-4 when she unleashed a forehand into the 20-year-old's head. Sabalenka's error count was rising, but she finally broke Rakitomanga Rajana's resistance to claim the first set, then eased home in the second. "I was super happy I found my level," said Sabalenka, who was guilty of 13 unforced errors in the first set. "It is always tricky playing someone young, someone you don't know, and a lefty, left-hander." Sabalenka said she had felt pressure with Federer and Rod Laver watching courtside. "I hope you guys enjoyed watching me play. I hope you enjoyed it even a little bit," she said in her on-court interview. "Can I take a picture with you, please?" Sabalenka was stunned in the Melbourne final by Madison Keys of the United States a year ago. Fearless, Sabalenka belatedly comes good to win Melbourne opener. Fear is a strange companion in sport. It does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it hides in a double fault, in a hesitant swing, in the pause before a serve toss too high or too low. On a warm Melbourne evening, Aryna Sabalenka stepped onto the court carrying not just her racket, but the weight of expectation, memory, and the quiet question that follows champions everywhere. Can you do it again? The opener was not meant to be dramatic. On paper, Sabalenka was the favorite. A reigning force of power tennis, she had conquered Melbourne before and learned its hard courts, its unforgiving lights, and its demanding crowd. Yet tennis, like life, rarely respects predictions. It tests belief first, then skill. From the opening games, Sabalenka did not look fearless. Her strokes, usually thunderous and precise, arrived a fraction late. The ball sailed long, clipped the net, or died meekly in the tape. The rhythm that defines her game refused to settle. Each error seemed to echo louder than the last, and the scoreboard quietly told an uncomfortable story. This was not dominance. This was doubt. Fear does not mean weakness. It means awareness. Sabalenka knew what was at stake. An opening match at Melbourne is more than just a first step. It is a statement. It asks whether preparation has translated into belief, whether confidence can survive pressure. For Sabalenka, fear came not from her opponent, but from herself, from the memory of past struggles, from the knowledge that power alone does not win matches. The crowd sensed it. Melbourne audiences are perceptive, capable of patience as much as passion. They watched as Sabalenka fought herself point by point. Her opponent played freely, sensing opportunity, redirecting Sabalenka's pace, asking her to hit one more ball, and then another. The rallies lengthened. The match tightened. Yet fear, when faced honestly, can become fuel. Somewhere in the second set, something shifted. It was not dramatic. There was no roar, no sudden streak of winners. Instead, Sabalenka began choosing discipline over destruction. She trusted her legs. She adjusted her margins. She accepted that winning ugly still counts as winning. The fearless part of her game did not arrive as recklessness, but as patience. This is the paradox of fearlessness. It is not the absence of fear, but the refusal to be ruled by it. Sabalenka's serve, once fragile, steadied. Her returns landed deeper. Her footwork sharpened. Each small correction stacked upon the last, building a quiet momentum. The errors decreased. The pressure shifted. Her opponent, once bold, began to feel the weight of Sabalenka's presence across the net. Power returned, but now it was controlled, purposeful. Melbourne has seen many champions falter early, victims of expectation and nerves. It has also seen champions adapt. Sabalenka chose adaptation. She did not chase perfection, she chased survival. And survival in tennis is often the gateway to dominance. By the final set, the match belonged to her. The fearless Sabalenka had arrived, not as a storm, but as a certainty. She struck when openings appeared. She defended when necessary. She trusted the work she had done when doubt threatened to undo it. The scoreboard, once unkind, now reflected resilience. When the final point was won, there was relief before celebration. Sabalenka raised her arms not in triumph alone, but in acknowledgement of the battle she had just fought within herself. The victory was belated, hard-earned, and perhaps more meaningful because of the struggle. This was not a perfect performance. It was something better, an honest one. Fearlessness in sport is often misunderstood. It is not about domination from the first ball. It is about staying present when things go wrong. It is about believing that form can be found, even late, even under pressure. Sabalenka's Melbourne opener was a reminder that champions are not defined by smooth beginnings, but by their response to resistance. As she walked off the court, Melbourne had its answer. Sabalenka may stumble, she may hesitate, but she does not retreat. She learns, she adjusts, and when the moment demands it, she comes good.